Why are exotics so special in Destiny? Well, I could give you reasons from them being rare and having super crazy Gjallarhorn-like moments, insane quests, secret missions out of nowhere, game-breaking exotics, but in general, I think at the heart of what makes exotics special is that they're rare treasures that we chase and aspire to unlock. These days though, I couldn't really tell you why exotics are special, and that kind of makes me sad. Exotics in Destiny 1 made you run and go tell your friends when you got one, and now people have full inventory screens of exotic engrams as if they were greens in Destiny 1. So today, I'm going to be doing a challenge where I try to collect as many exotics as possible on a new account in 24 hours. The rules for this challenge are simple. Start on a new account and that's it. Any boosts, pay-to-win methods, DLCs, or anything else available to us is fair game. The sole purpose of this challenge is to see just how many exotics you can theoretically get and hopefully make a statement about how much different exotics are in Destiny 2 versus how they used to previously be in Destiny 1 in the glory days. I want to make a quick note that my prediction for this challenge was me maybe getting close to the 50 mark. With that being said, I hope you enjoy. I start off my journey the way every single journey starts, with New Light. Just kidding, actually. This challenge started off with me opening my wallet and purchasing the Destiny 2 Legacy Collection that came with every DLC besides Final Shape and Edge of Fate, which was only $6.99 now instead of $69.99. Also, I bought the Final Shape Deluxe for $19.99 instead of $99.99. Honestly, not bad. Funny enough, these would be free the next day, but I needed them in this current moment. I'll explain later. Make sure to subscribe and join the Patreon if you'd like to support these challenges that usually force me to open my wallet. I very much appreciate all the support. Anyways, with that done, it was now actually time for New Light. This is Bungie's very amazing way of introducing new players to the world of Destiny.
I'm separated from my strike team.
I'm separated from my strike team, you don't say. After the 100th challenge, Shahan still can't help but get separated from his strike team.
All right, we're skipping New Light. It's time. Are you guys ready to get some exotics? It's time to get exotics. It's time to get started. What do you guys think? How many exotics do you think we can get? Like, no monetary restrictions, no nothing. Like, taking advantage of every single thing that exists in Destiny. Like, how far do you think we can get?
Luckily, as you all probably know by now, they implemented a skip where after the first mission, you can skip the rest of the New Light campaign. The only trade-off is one skippable cutscene, which, honestly, I'll happily live with. After this, I run around in circles for way longer than I care to admit because I decided to wait on picking up the New Light kit, but with doing that, it wouldn't allow me to get to Guardian Rank 2, which essentially allows you to fly through the solar system. It'll make sense soon why I wanted to skip it. Anyways, I head back to Ikora and I pick up the New Light kit. I decide on Solar because that means we get to start with a very good early game weapon, the Sunshot. One exotic down. I accidentally kinda was on a black screen when I claimed it because I'm the worst streamer ever, but it was officially ours. This hand cannon used to be something we could randomly earn out in the wild, but now it's kinda just given out for free. Moving on, now that we had our New Light kit, we could go to the magical tree to get to Guardian Rank 2. Once this was completed, the tree gave us our flying license where we could officially fly across the solar system because that makes sense. If pufferfish can give out driver's licenses, why not a magical tree? Anyways, we head to the right of the 9 realm area as we're about to take advantage of something major. Bungie had announced that as Rite of the 9 progressed, that each week the Emissary would be offering more and more exotics each week to the Emissary's inventory to help players get ready for the next expansion. With that being said, I picked up the 3 exotics right off the back as I was given 1500 non-honorary manifold just for purely existing. Each exotic cost 500 and more of this currency could be farmed in the Rite of the 9 dungeons. With that, I picked up the Whisper of the Worm, one of my favorite exotics of all time. This was my favorite exotic because of its iconic mission that came out of nowhere during Warmind. But today, I could bypass all of that. This is going to be a theme of this entire video where I kind of recount my experience of getting all of these OG exotics versus how I'm kind of acquiring them now. After this, we picked up the Arbalest, the OG Revelry exotic for those that remember that had us playing through the Verdant Forest. 3 exotics down already. The 4th exotic I picked up was admittedly a mistake. I grabbed the Graviton Lance, which I could have just gotten on my next character with the Void New Light kit. Unfortunately, I misclicked. Anyways, another previously random drop exotic that I can now either purchase in this table or in the new light kit. 4 exotics down. I was now out of the dungeon currency, so I would have to come back for Polaris Lance later. Believe it or not though, it wasn't time to go yet. There were still more exotics I could get from this space. The Gift of the Nine would not only give us a few more exotics, but also boost us to the pinnacle cap, which would be helpful for doing late game activities. Keep in mind Fireteam power does exist, so I'd still be able to do the late game activities anyways, but this was still cool if I decided I wanted to do things solo. With this, I picked up the Izanagi's Burden, which had one of my favorite quests of all of the Destiny 2 quests, which required us finding the mysterious box, making the Forge's maximum temper, grinding the rare bounty, trips to the Leviathan, Shattered Throne, the Pyramidion, and finally back to the Bergusia Forge. It was a legendary time, but alas, it was mine, and 5 exotics were done. I also picked up the Aeon Safes, bringing us up to 6 exotics. Before we move on though, 6 is actually a very magical number. Why, you might ask? Well, this is how many exotics I had at the end of 24 hours when trying to collect every single Destiny 1 exotic in one stream. Okay, before I get sad, let's stay on topic. After getting up to max power, it was back to the Cosmodrome to revisit my best friend Shahan. Why did we need to come back? Well, 2 things. 1, since we had purchased the Final Shape Deluxe Edition, Tessellation was waiting for us, bringing us up to 7 exotics. He also had Maeve's Key waiting for me, which I could use to open up Maeve's stash to get us the previously random drop Tractor Cannon, bringing us up to 8 exotics. We also picked up the Gatlahorn quest. We would decide if we wanted to come back to this later. The next order of business was collecting the freebie exotic that we've grown accustomed to at the beginning of each season or episode from purchasing the current pass, which gave us the Lodestar. After this, I headed back to the tower and I made my first stop to grab some of the old quests from the quest kiosk by the Postmaster. This had things like the Chaperone quest, the Sweet Business quest, and the Wish-Ender quest. Once we had these, it was off to my favorite location in Destiny 2. The Dreaming City? Nope. The Monument of Lost Light and the Tower, of course, where all of my favorite memories of the past reside. When purchasing Forsaken, you get 3 Forsaken Ciphers that you can use to purchase 3 Forsaken exotics for free. With those grabbed, I first picked up the Lemon Arc. This was another great weapon to have in the early game of our challenges. I still remember this being a random drop from the Forge completions back in Black Armory. With that, we now at 10 exotics in under an hour. After this, we picked up the Lumina. I still remember struggling to get that Gambit medal that was called Not on My Watch, and revisiting the Will of Thousand Strike in order to shoot the floating crystals. Good times. Anyways, 11 exotics down.
Spin a wheel and flip a coin? Yeah, why not? That sounds like a good idea. That sounds fun. I'm down to spin a wheel. Let's see. Right on the edge, last word. Holy cow. All right, fair enough. Fair is fair.
Lastly, we picked up the last word, which made me very much miss the draw quest. Once this was done, I headed to the special deliveries kiosk by the gunsmith, where I was able to grab the Quicksilver Storm that was waiting for me. There were also a ton of golf balls, alloys, ciphers, and upgrade modules waiting for me. The way this works is if you buy the deluxe edition of an expansion at the end of the final season or episode, you'll get items for each of the previous seasons/episodes for the year. That's why I had so much sitting here. Anyways, with that explanation out of the way, it was time for me to commit the ultimate sin: auto-completing the season pass. I go to the Steam store, and unfortunately,
here we go. This is the ultimate experiment. All right, we're going full screen. It is time to buy some silver, which means apparently I need to add some funds. Add funds. PayPal account. Please just work and don't make me wait. It says my purchase is pending. That's so annoying when that happens. Why does it just pen the purchases? That's like so dumb. Why does it always do this? Literally gonna make me go to CVS and grab all of the gift cards.
Yeah, no matter what I did, Steam just wouldn't take my money. They were flagging my purchases as suspicious, which meant that my only option was Steam gift cards, but I didn't have any. This meant that it was time to take an adventure.
I think I'm about to just go buy gift cards. I got CVS 5 minutes away. I don't even know if I fit around with like waiting for this. Steam deciding whether or not it wants to take my money. I don't know if I have the time for that right now. turn on phone and cam and stream car ride?
I'm almost there too. I can see the CVS. The lights are on, which is a good sign. This was not a part of the plan for this challenge. Oh, it's like really empty. This is making me nervous, guys. Guys, I don't have a good feeling about this. Wait, oh, you know why I don't have a good feeling about this, guys? I'm at Walgreens. Oh, guys, there's no way. Hold on. Guys, I might have made a massive miscalculation. My Walgreens is closed. This is really bad. Okay, so Walgreens. I'm at Walgreens. I'm not at CVS. I'm gonna turn off camera first. I figure out where the CVS actually is. I have the camera off only because I'm actually using the GPS though. All right, we're here, guys, but here might not be where we need to be. The CVS looks. I think it's partially because though, like, they have like blacked out windows. Maybe that's just like a security thing. Please door open. Please door open. 11. It's guys, the door open. Thank God. Gift cards. Guys, please pray. This would not be rocket science. They're usually like in the front, but there's. Oh, okay, I found them. Oh, good, guys, we did it. Look at that. Yeah. Yes. Guys, we won. 11, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think we get 11 for good measure because, like I said, I think we should be able to purchase Edge of Fate. I think, at least. I don't think that should be a problem. Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing just fine myself. How are you doing?
That is 11.
11?
Yes, it is 11.
We're not allowed to do 11, are we?
Yeah, it looks like 11. Cool.
Please remember to take a first. Thank you for shopping at CVS.
There's a limit of 10.
Okay, 10 works. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you so much.
Of course.
All right. Yeah, I will take it. I'm not complaining.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5.
Oh, did it do 5 per purchase? Is that what happened?
It's having errors with a bunch of them.
Okay.
So it's going to go into a refund for.
I should have just.
I have discovered maybe. Okay. I will refund this straight to your card.
Okay.
Go ahead and.
I need to insert it again.
Yeah. Like sometimes it lets us, sometimes it doesn't.
I wonder if I should have just done one at a time.
If you have your extra
I'm
character,
trying to see which ones are the activated ones.
Oh, so some worked and some did. Is that what happened?
Yeah, and
Okay.
that's why I am.
That's the mystery.
I am currently going through the process of fixing that.
We're fine.
Go ahead and put your card in so that we can refund it to you,
Okay.
and then it should refund you in 2 to 3 business days.
Okay.
I'm real sorry.
No, it's not. It's not your fault.
No, I understand, but I understand that it is supposed to suck. So I'm just.
So those 5 that we have will be good, though.
Yeah, the first 5, those works. I went ahead and improved.
All right, cool. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Guys, all right. So I have one $20 gift card at home. I have 5 here. That's 120. Now we have a decision. He was nice. He was a trooper. He tried his best, and that's all we can ask for. We got 5. What's the timer at? 1 hour 43. Okay. 1 hour 43. All right, let me do a quick check on the next closest CVS, guys. What if we went to one more? Okay, we have one that's 10 minutes away. I feel like we just go to this one now, too. We are 5 minutes away, and CVS closes in 15 minutes. All right, guys, let's, we're at another CVS here. How many do you need? We need 5 more for this to be a mission complete. You know what would be cool is if they had like the $50 ones or something, guys. Like they got like $100 and $50 Roblox. They got 10 different Fortnite ones, 1 trillion different PlayStation ones. Why is there only $20 Steam ones? It's like really annoying. I don't know why it's like that. 3, 4. Guys, I am just like, I'm having myself time here. All right. It's just 5.
But no, but how much?
Oh, it's $100.
touch the continue button if finished.
Oh, it's extra. It's 5. Yeah, because for $100 now, they're so expensive.
Okay. We're just gonna do these here.
The 3. Okay, that's what that works. Thank you. Guys, we got them. Let's go, guys. We did it. Yeah, she was based. She said, yeah, we're just gonna do a couple of them. Like, all right, you have to tell me twice. But I'm not gonna be the one to recommend it though and look sketch. All right, guys, feels good. And now I know how to get home too. So I'm gonna put you guys here. Obviously, I'm still not gonna be able to like look, because like the last thing we need is any bad luck where the Twitch account gets zapped to the Shadow Realm. So I was on the road, but you guys talk amongst yourself. We got just double check here just to make sure. Guys, look at all of these too. These are all of my receipts. There's like a trillion of them. What actually, before I go, two things before we drive. Two things. How many exotics were in the season pass? Did we find that out? And then also how much time is in the clock? There's 20 engrams? You get 20? There's 20? Oh, this was a perfect. This was totally worth it. This was all on purpose, by the way. Anyways, this was all for entertainment. I just wanted to make the story a little more compelling. I did all this on purpose. It wasn't that oh, guys, that's why I don't have a mount. All right, guys, you're just staying on the floor. All right, y'all, we're back. Let's get back to work. What a journey.
After that crazy adventure, we were finally back with our gift cards, and all we needed to do was redeem all the codes, and then we could finally do this.
All right, let me go to the season pass now. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna click buy season rank, and then I should be able to, I hope at least, guys, just pray for me. I should be able to just go in. We should be able to do the 100 silver, add another to cart. Let me go to the cart. Yeah, here it is. Let me sorry. Let's hurry real quick. All right, gaming. There's the 100 and 100. Purchase for myself, please. Please? Are we good? We are. Now I'm gonna be honest, guys. We had to put in some work though. That was the hardest pay to win that I've ever been a part of. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Do I need to click this 200 times? That's a lot of work too. Let me get a sip of water real quick. That's a lot of work. 200 times. 1, 2. I'm not counting all the way.
It's just too easy, guys. This is hard work. Oh, guys. There's strange coins on the pass? Guys, this thing gives a lot of stuff. We're about to be rich. Guys, this game is pay to win. Like, D2 is so extraordinarily easier than D1 to get exotics. But you know, how far can I take that? And so today we're gonna be finding out how far I can take that. This makes me sick, by the way, guys. To my being, to my very core, it makes me sick how easy it is to get exotics in this game. All right, guys. It was a really hard journey, but I was able to max out my season pass this episode. It was a tough grind, but it's maxed. That was a tough grind. Had to go to 2 whole CVS's. Cosmetics being purchasable, I'm fine with. Currency being purchasable, Upgrade materials being purchasable, Exotics being purchasable should never, ever, 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 did I say ever, ever be a thing. One of the most magical things that made me fall in love with this game has gone from being a treasure to being reduced to trinkets that I can open my wallet for. With that, I now had access to, brace yourself, 20 exotic engrams, 3 exotic ciphers, and pretty much all of every relevant currency, including strange coins for Xur. This is the definition of pay to win. Now that we were finally rich, it was time to grow fat from strength, as Calus had said, but before that, I had some other exotics I wanted to claim to remove them from our loot pool first, as we were still trying to be as efficient as possible. This meant that it was time for more new light. I created my hunter and we had another easy exotic for the taking. After doing the first mission, I head to the tower and pick up the Arc New Light kit that gives me the Wrist Runner. Before the creation of the New Light kit, I could have got this from the Risk Reward quest or from random engrams, but with the New Light kit, I could get this immediately. After I had it, I quickly headed to the 9 realm where I had another exotic for the taking. Outside of being able to once again get another character to 2020, the Aeon Swifts were waiting for me, bringing us up to 15 exotics. Once that was done, I repeated the process one more time and grabbed the Aeon Souls of my Warlock. This is the character that should have picked up the Graviton with the Void New Light kit instead of me wasting my Right of the 9 currency, but I couldn't complain too much having 16 exotics in under 3 hours. Before opening my season pass, which I know you're all waiting for, the next thing on my list was completing the timeline reflection as I could get the Monte Carlo for free. Before being able to take advantage of the timeline reflection quest, the old way was having Shadowkeep and getting it through RNG. Monte Carlo actually represents the last non-raid or dungeon RNG exotic weapon, believe it or not. After this, they were discontinued. Rest in peace. Anyways, before we could finish the first timeline mission, this happened.
Oh, I got the tractor catalyst, guys. I'm just apparently too good, apparently.
Well, that wasn't what I was expecting. Anyways, we push onwards through the rest of the mission as I was preparing myself to once again relive through Kate 6 dying. Just kidding. Unfortunately, we got soft locked twice during the mission, so I couldn't make it to the end. The game's secretly trying its best to stop Kate 6 from dying. Honestly, I respect it. Apparently, this has been a known issue. Anyways, since we couldn't progress any further, was it finally time to open our season pass engrams? Well, no. Next on our list was visiting Mr. Will Is Not His Own, which gives us a trophy when we see him for the first time, funny enough. The season pass gave us a ton of strange coins as I mentioned, which meant that I could pick up some more exotics from him, starting with the Raid and Flux. Next, we picked up the Caprice Horn, bringing us up to 18 exotics. Lastly, we rounded off the armor he was selling with the Phoenix Protocol, bringing us up to 19 exotics. Believe it or not, we weren't done with Xur yet though, as he still had weapons for us as well. We were able to pick up the Hawkmoon, which used to be unlocked through the Harbinger mission that still they haven't brought back, by the way. Now it's just available for a Cipher, which we have tons of at this point. We were now at 20 exotics, not even 3.5 hours into the challenge. This was already starting to feel a little ridiculous. Moving on, I was a little annoyed that I had wasted even more of my Right of the 9 currency on Arbalest as Xur was also selling it, so once again this was another blunder on my part. Instead of Arbalest, I picked up the weapon that before was only available through the Encore exotic mission, which I could now pick up for measly strange coins. And with that, the Choir of 21 was ours, which brought us up to 21 exotics. After this, we picked up the Queenbreaker's Bow, which had a mega resurgence this year after really only having a day in the limelight in Gambit when it first made its Destiny 2 debut. With that, I was now out of strange coins, but I would have plenty more soon as they weren't that hard to earn, so we said our farewells to Xur for now. Was it now finally time for our Season Pass exotics? Almost. Next, it was time to go shopping. We had lots of exotic ciphers, and I was wanting to spend them. We kicked things off with the Ariana's Vow. We followed this up with the Witherhoard, one of the best weapons in Destiny 2, which already was pretty easy to get when it was a Season Pass weapon, but now it's effortless. We kept the momentum going, picking up the Dragon's Breath next, bringing us up to 25 exotics. Speaking of breath, next was the Leviathan's Breath, which used to be a pretty neat quest that was now obtained in the click of a button. Our final cipher we spent on the Grand Overture, bringing us up to 27 exotics. After this, we claimed multiple catalysts in the past, which to be honest, I didn't even really know was a thing. With that, is it finally time for the big Engram opening? Well, it would have been, but you can blame Dub for it not being time. He was able to break through the reflection softlock, so we were able to finish up the Cade 6 mission. The universe said that Cade 6 unfortunately had to die. After this, we finished the remaining subsequent missions, and after it was all said and done, the Monte Carlo was our reward. I'm not even gonna ask this time if it's time to open up our Season Pass exotics. And that would be wise because the next thing on our list was farming dungeon encounters so we could go back to the 9 realm and claim our Polaris Lance that was waiting for us. On top of this, I also didn't mention that there were 2 Right of the 9 quests where if you complete the dungeon, you could pick up a dungeon exotic for free. With this, I completed the Right of the 9 Prophecy version of the dungeon that wasn't even on the hardest difficulty, and I was able to pick up the exotic that was the bane of my existence behind Samuma, the Navigator, bringing us up to 29 exotics. If you've watched my dungeon exotic challenges, you know how much this weapon has been the bane of my existence. And now it's trivial. I get it, but man. Anyways, we finished the prophecy dungeon one more time, and after we do, we're able to claim the hierarchy of needs that used to be behind the Spire of the Watcher dungeon, bringing us up to the big 30 exotics in under 5 hours. With the dungeon encounters we completed, we were also now able to afford the Polaris Lance, which brought us up to 31 exotics. I also had one more exotic cipher sitting waiting to be spent that I initially couldn't pick up because we had maxed out at 5, and with this, I was able to pick up the Bastion, which I originally earned in the Corridors of Time, for those that remember. What a journey that was. Now, my journey was flying to the tower and going to the Monument of Lost Light. With all of this done, it was finally, no joke, time to open up our Season Pass exotic Engrams. Here we go.
All right, let's open up some exotics, why don't we? Now, normally I would have liked to save these for the armor exotics so that I don't have to double dip on armor, but it's fine. Let's just hope we get it right. The Eternal Warrior, okay, the Eternal Warrior. Fighting Lion. Oh, my beloved. The Jade Rabbit, okay, Jade Rabbit, I see you. Trinity Ghoul, okay. These are good drops. And now we go back to the pass and we claim more. What happened to the game I love? What happened to the game I love, man? You're an unk? That's what happened? Oh my lord. All right. Well, that was really hard. That was really, really hard. That was tough. The Cold Heart. Okay. Next one. Borealis. No. That was our first double dip. Heart of Inmost Light is a subclass exotic. Darn it. We double dipped. Actium Warrig. I don't think Actium was one. At least I don't think Actium wasn't one that we have to worry about. My goal was 50, by the way. That was my stretch goal. Darcy. Oh, Darcy, my beloved. Imagine if I would have been prepared and we didn't have to go to 2 CVS's. The Prospector. Okay. Ashen Wake. The Colony. The Colony. Oh my gosh. Guys, by the way, we're setting a crazy world record right now. It is going to be like whatever it ends up being at the end of this is going to be ridiculous for exotics on a 24-hour period. All right, next one. Wormgot Caress, I don't think was one either that we have to worry about double dipping wise on. I don't remember what the third Titan exotic was. It was Syntheseps, the Heart of Inmost Light, Dune Marchers. Maybe it is Dune Marchers. Maybe that's what it is. Let's pray it's not Doom Marchers. If it's Doom Marchers, we double dip twice. I just need to know if it's from the subclass quest, but I guess we'll find out later. Just check the wiki. What is it? It is Doom Marchers, so we double dip twice. It's fine, whatever. Are you guys ready? I believe we have more exotics in the past to grab. Good lord. I can't believe this. I genuinely cannot believe this. Is this real life? What happened to the game? Next one, guys. The Lord of Wolves. That's a good one. We'll take it, I guess. Guys, am I really about to cross 50? Is that really about to happen? Am I really about to cross 50? The Wave Splitter, my beloved. Suros. Cresta Alpha Lupi. Do we really have 50 exotics in 5 hours when I spent the first half an hour running in circles and the second hour at CVS? Let's do this first. No, we triple dipped. I don't have to do any of the subclass stuff. And with that, we had 52 exotics in just barely over 5 hours. Keep in mind that this is factoring in a whole trip to CVS to buy Steam gift cards. Also, we double dipped with the Ikora subclass exotics as I could have gotten Doom Marchers, Syntheseps, and Heart of Inmost Light and taken those out of the pool before doing this, which would have had me at 55 exotics. Despite this, we were now over 50 exotics in 5 hours. Let me say that again. We were over 50 exotics in 5 hours. What happened to the game I loved?
With that wild segment over, it was time to move on to some actual gameplay. I had my sights set on GMs next for a few different reasons. Well, for one, they counted as ritual activities, so every 3 completed I would get an exotic engram. This meant I could get 3 engrams on my Titan, 3 on my Hunter, and 3 on my Warlock. It's important now to mention that I started this challenge at 9 p.m. on Monday night. This meant that once the weekly reset hit, we would be able to get those 9 exotic engrams again, netting us 18 guaranteed new exotics. Also, GMs when Platinum had a chance to drop exotic armor. Now granted, for everyone unfamiliar with GMs, it'll drop any armor from pre-Beyond Light without bad luck protection. Post-Beyond Light exotics don't drop in the pool unless you've already discovered them, so we wouldn't be seeing any of these. This meant that every run we had a chance at a new pre-Beyond Light exotic armor piece on top of the guaranteed engrams that we would get, which made this a great farm. With that being said, we get to work starting on the Warden of Nothing GM. It's important to note that I'm still at Guardian rank 2, which means I can't use any armor or weapon mods, so whatever resilience I'm at is where I'm gonna be for the entirety of this grind. Unfortunately, Guardian ranks are very restrictive, but I'm hoping if you're watching this in Edge of Fate, maybe they operate a little differently. Another thing to note is that I haven't done the first episodic mission, so I also don't have access to the artifact, which means no champion mods. With every second counting, I didn't feel like wasting more time, so instead, I just used my trusty Ariana's Vow, which had intrinsic anti-barrier. Good enough. With that explanation out of the way, we dove in. On the first completion, something extremely strange happened.
Oh, it's a weapon. Sweet business. Well, that just went against everything that I thought I knew to be true.
Huh? So, I got an exotic weapon? This shouldn't have been possible. I mean, clearly it was, but it shouldn't be. I didn't finish the sweet business quest. I confirmed that, but somehow I was given a weapon. If anyone has an explanation for this, let me know. Maybe your very first GM on your account has a chance, kind of like Prison of Elders in Destiny 1, your character's first PoE guarantees an exotic weapon. To anyone saying that this can just happen, I've done a lot of challenges and have never seen this. And just to spoil the rest of this challenge, we're never going to see another exotic weapon from a GM again. If anyone has a legitimate explanation, please let me know in the comments, as I would love to understand more. Getting back on track though, after this we swapped to the Insight Terminus and we kept farming. Insight Terminus can be completed super fast. On our second Titan GM, we picked up the Severance Enclosure, getting us up to 54 exotics. After this, I decided to take a quick trip to the tower, as I can now afford an exotic that I couldn't before. The Heart Light from Zerg, getting us up to 55 exotics. And then, just when you think I've gotten every exotic from Zur, his table strikes, giving us 2 more freebies. This is actually insane. Now at this point, 100 exotics in 24 hours sounds absolutely insane still, but just taking a step back, we have 55 exotics in under 6 hours. Could this actually be possible? Before decrypting our 2 freebie exotics, we pick up a 3rd freebie, as we can now afford to buy our Fated Engram. With that, we head to Raoul and we pick up the Merciless, the One-Eyed Mask which struck fear in the Crucible and put everyone in a frenzy to grind for one, and the laser tag weapon, the Prometheus Lens, bringing us up to 58 exotics. After this, we dive back into our 3rd Nightfall, which gives us a guaranteed engram when we complete it. We head back to the tower and we get the Huckleberry as our 59th exotic. Now that we opened our exotic, we could leave the tower to continue our grind if we didn't have another free exotic opportunity waiting for us at the tower. Believe it or not, Hawthorne's Clan Bounty gives out a free exotic per week if you finish any of them. And lucky for us, one of these is for completing a Nightfall with clanmates. This worked out great because we were already in a clan, the CB Subathon clan of course, for another reason, and that's because we were working towards Zur's Xenology quest, which would give us another free exotic cipher once it's completed. If you're not too sure what I'm referring to, Zur has a quest each week where if you complete activities, he'll eventually give you an exotic cipher, and being in a clan when completing those activities speeds things up. With that being said, we finish our 4th GM and finish the clan bounty up with it. This bounty, as promised, gives us another Engram. On our 5th GM, we get the strongholds, getting us up to the big number 60. With that milestone achieved, we press on and prove that bad luck protection indeed doesn't exist when doing Nightfalls, getting a duplicate, but also getting our 2nd free exotic Engram in the process. We press on, not even turning in our 2nd Engram, and on our very next run, we get the Mask of the Quiet One, and as an added bonus, we finish our Xenology quest. With that, we opened up our 2nd GM Engram and our clan Engram, which gives us the Crimson and the Ursa Furiosa gauntlets, bringing us up to 63 exotics. After this, we turn in our Xenology quest to Zur, and he gives us another exotic Cipher. We spend this one on the Red Death Reformed, bringing us up to 64 exotics. We get back to running, and I'm pleased that the exotics keep rolling in, next giving us the ACD feedback fences. On our final Titan GM run before the reset, we get the MK44 stand-asides, bringing us up to 66 exotics. This also gave us our 3rd and final guaranteed exotic of the week. We opened up the exotic Engram, and here's what we got.
All right, what are we getting? Warcliffe Coil, okay.
The dubious volley, aka the Warcliffe Coil. With all that grinding, we were also able to max out Zur, giving us another exotic Cipher. It just apparently doesn't stop. With it, we picked up our 68th exotic, the Rat King, which used to have a super interesting quest with all the riddles attached to it for my OGs. After this, it was on to our hunter to repeat the process again. We knock out our first Nightfall, which brings us the Stompies, our 69th exotic. Nice. I would say Stompies is a pretty fitting 69th exotic. Anyways, we also completed the Nightfall clan bounty again, which we would hold on to until the reset, and then we'd be able to claim another free exotic. From here, I'll just summarize what happened with our remaining 8 GMs on my hunter. For our random drops, we get the Gemini Jesters, the Celestial Nighthawk, the Young Ahamkara Spine, the Mechaneers Trick Sleeves, and the Bombardiers, bringing us up to 74 exotics. For our 3 guaranteed exotic Engrams, when we decrypted them, we got the Graviton Forfeit, the Orpheus Riggs, and the Black Talon, bringing us up to the Bungie number 77 exotics, which, speaking of Bungie numbers, it was also Bungie Day. We also had the weird Big Boot glitch happen again, which, by the way, I have no idea what causes this. After all of the hunter grinding, I take a second to finally purchase Edge of Fate, and I pick up the most expensive exotic of the challenge, the No Land, the New Land Beyond. 78 exotics down. With that, it was now 7:35 a.m. Central Time on Tuesday. We had been grinding all the way through the night, and it was now morning. Now we still had 9 more GMs to complete, and while the reset was at 12 p.m. noon Central Time, we had an hour of downtime, which would be another hour that would be yanked from me during this challenge. Now you're probably wondering if I'm gonna pause the timer, and my answer to that question is of course not. With that being said, we get back to the grind, and I gotta admit, we started dying a lot. I mean over and over and over again. We finally get back into a rhythm, but time is very quickly being eaten. We knock out our first Grandmaster on my Warlock, and I'm happy to see a Phidian aspect drop, bringing us up to 79 exotics. After this, something unexpected happened, but something that I was expecting to have happened a lot earlier on in the challenge. A Vex Incursion. For those unfamiliar, this is a special public event that can spawn on Neomuna that, when completed, gives you a random but bad luck protected exotic piece of armor. As long as you aren't free to play though, because believe it or not, if you're free to play, that bad luck protection goes out the window, which is crazy, but the truth. Anyways, we knock it out quickly, and here's what we get.
The Prometheum Spur.
We got the Prometheum Spur, bringing us up to 80 exotics. This was an amazing feeling to be at 80 exotics in under 12 hours. Madness. Anyways, with the downtime looming, we had to keep pressing on. We burn through the remaining 2 GMs, and we get our first guaranteed exotic Engram on our Warlock. Too pressed for time to open the Engram, we keep pushing. On our next 2 runs, we pick up the Vespers of Radius and the Wings of Sacred Dawn, bringing us up to 82 exotics. On the following run, we picked up our second guaranteed exotic Engram. And then, unfortunately, at the end of the next run, this happened.
We gotta get some games in. I'm sure you're going to sleep, but maybe once you wake up. What does this game have against me getting exotics? Actually, I shouldn't complain. You guys have been getting kicked out of the game, right? Part of me wants to test the luck, but there we go. Honestly, I respect the game for giving me the run.
Well, at least it waited until we finished the run. And with that, Unfortunately, we weren't going to be able to get our last free exotic Engram. Just kidding. This was a rare pre-reset downtime where the downtime was actually going to finish before the weekly reset actually started, meaning that we'd have 1 hour more to finish the remaining runs. This was a very lucky break. We hang out for the next hour waiting for the time to pass, and before you knew it, we were back in the game. It was time to get back to the GMs. But if you can believe it, before that, we had another exotic Engram to claim from Zur. Absolutely insane. With every second counting, we dive right back in and get through the first 2 GMs that we need before the reset, which gives us the stag, getting us up to 83 exotics. After this, we knock out our final GM on my Warlock, and with 22 minutes to spare before the reset, we get our final exotic Engram. We head over to Raoul, and here's what we got. Here we go, first one. Verity's Brow. Okay, Verity's Brow. Crown of Tempest. All right, Crown of Tempest. I see you. 85, even more now. Transversive Steps. Beautiful. And isn't it crazy, guys? We have another 9 guaranteed Engrams the second reset happens. And Skyburner's Oath. Okay, Skyburner's Oath. And with that, all of our guaranteed exotics for the reset were completed. However, there was still a little bit of time before the reset, so I decided to knock out the Wish-Ender quest. I complete the first puzzle before realizing that I hadn't talked to Petra, so I quickly go do that and then we run it back. I absolutely love this quest. We dunk the first orb and kill the first Minotaur, cleansing our first token. After this, we press on, slamming the 2 orbs on the balcony section as well as the next part following, and we make it to the second mini-boss room and cleanse our second token. After some more pushing, we make it to the first boss room. We then begin the encounter, eventually killing the invisible Minotaur, and then we dunk the orb. After this, all we had to do was kill the final mini-boss, and then we could actually defeat the boss. When we killed the boss, something really cool happened. Beautiful. Oh, the Palace Galliot. Oh, I'm so done. On the first go-round. Let's go, man. Once this was completed, we headed to the statue to claim our prize, the Wish-Ender. And with that, it was now 13 minutes past the weekly reset, which meant that it was time to get back to business. But not the business you might think. So traditionally, you get exotics from the missions they belong to, but as you've seen, we've got Whisper without doing the mission earlier. Also, traditionally, exotics attached to quests you primarily get from doing the full quest. But what if you could just skip to the end of a quest on its final step? Surely that's not a thing, right? Right? Well? Oh, bro, I can't believe it actually allows that. Why does it allow that? So without doing any of the quests, you can skip to the end of the Barodaiad final mission with the team already there, and if you complete it, the weapon is yours that you totally earned. With that extremely grueling quest done, we farmed the first boss of the Prophecy Rite of the 9 dungeon in order to once again farm non-honorary manifolds, as Bungie now had added 2 more free exotics with the weekly reset. Which ones, you might ask? You'll see. The original Mars sword that had an interesting quest back in the day, and the Outbreak perfected from one of the greatest, if not the greatest, secret missions of all time. I had both of these right at my disposal if I took a bit of time to grind the first boss of the Prophecy Rite of the 9 dungeon. So I did just that, and with very little friction or effort, both of these exotics were ours. We were now past the 90 exotic mark with 7.5 hours remaining. Triple digits was actually right there, and with 9 guaranteed exotic Engrams since the reset had passed, it looked like this was inevitable. With that, it was time to head back into GMs to get those 9 Engrams. On the first set of 3 runs, I got the Peacekeepers bringing us up to 92 exotics, as well as the Peregrine Greaves from our first exotic Engram that got us up to 93 exotics. After this, I made a quick pit stop on my hunter to open his clan bounty that was just sitting there from pre-reset, as it was another free exotic Engram. With that, we picked up the Liar's Handshake, getting us up to 94 exotics. Moving on, it was time to get back over to my Titan, as we had 6 more GMs to do and 2 more guaranteed exotics for the taking. But before we could do that, something else was demanding our attention. Oh, Vex Incursion! Oh, pigs, fly us! Fly us, my poor boys. We run to knock out the Vex Incursion as quickly as we can, and here's what we got. And The Abiant Leap. Okay. All right. Getting back to work, we knock out our next 3 GMs on my Titan, and on the 3rd, something really funny happens. We got our exotic Engram, but I had thought that we had a random drop exotic spawn, but it ended up just unfortunately being the Darcy Catalyst. It took me a minute to realize because the Engram popped up on the screen for completing our 6th GM. Anyways, we head back to the tower and we get the Telesto Besto getting us up to 96 exotics. After obtaining the most broken weapon in Destiny history, we headed back into GMs. With our final 3 runs, we were able to get the Lion Rampants, my favorite Destiny 2 exotic, as well as the Titan Ramparts from the exotic Engram that brought us up to 98 exotics in just 19 hours. With that 98th exotic, we also completely maxed out our table in a day, meaning that we had a free exotic cipher given to us as a reward. To celebrate our 99th exotic, I decided to choose the Sleeper Simulant as our prize, which used to be such a cool quest on Mars that had been reduced to just something that you purchase for an exotic cipher. Unfortunate. With that, we only needed 1 exotic to be at the big 100. I couldn't believe it. Now you may be wondering if I was tired as I had now been playing for 19 hours straight, which would be a valid concern by the way. And the answer to that question was no. The hours were legit flying. My mindset wasn't that I had been gaming for 19 hours straight. It was that I only had 5 hours left to push as hard as I could. The only thing I cared about was proving a point. With that, we jumped onto my hunter to dive into Grandmasters as we still had 6 more exotics for the taking.
Yes, the Dragon Shadow. Maybe not the one I would have chose for the big 100, but hey, it's 100, y'all.
And just like that, in 19 hours, 27 minutes, and 29 seconds, I had collected 100 exotics in Destiny 2 on a new account. A feat that had never been done before. A world record for sure, but I wasn't really happy or even excited. Internally, I was sad. This is just something that no matter the realm, should never be possible. Yet here I was, staring at 100 exotics that surrounded me in every direction that I looked in. Such a crazy feat, but just something that shouldn't be possible. Anyways, we keep grinding, and with our 3 guaranteed exotic Engram drops, we get Vigilance Wing, Two-Tailed Fox, and Raiju's Harness. In terms of the drops from the completions, we were able to get the Worm Husk, the Caprice Stings, and the Gwynson Vest. And the icing on the cake was that we maxed out our Vanguard again, getting us an exotic Engram that dropped the Doomfang Pauldrons. All of this brought us up to 107 exotics. We also got the Sleeper Catalyst to drop, funny enough. I remember when that was tied to Spire of Stars, my beloved. With that, we had less than 3 hours left to complete 9 GMs on my Warlock. Plenty of time as long as we locked in. How much further were we going to be able to take this challenge? It was time to push beyond the limits of what should be possible. And with that, we were at 114 exotics completed in just a little over 23 hours. This was insane. But what if we could even push things even further? 115 was right on the horizon. And what better weapon to try to cap things off than with the Gjallarhorn itself? The pinnacle of what it used to mean to obtain an exotic. Now reduced to a dungeon guaranteed quest, but it still felt like a fitting 115th exotic. We had the legend Bog on My Dog accompany us, and with that, we dove into Grasp of Avarice and quickly completed the final boss, giving us our first Wolfpack round. From there, we followed each of the steps, sending us to different ends of the Cosmodrome to collect more Wolfpack rounds from Powerful Fallen. Once this was completed, we needed to knock out a lost sector in the Divide. After we reassembled all of the components, it was back to Shah Han who had our prize waiting for us, the Gjallarhorn for our 115th exotic. With that, we had less than 20 minutes left. Was there anything else we could get with this time? Well,
Guys, what do I do now? I don't think I have time to do Guardian rank 3. But so what do? I got 23 minutes. I think I got an idea. I go to the tower and I need to see what subclass armor there is and see if does anybody have Shuro-Chi? I might be able to farm Shuro-Chi for an exotic armor piece. Possibly. No guarantees, but possibly. Exotic mission? Oh, yeah, we do. I think that's the play. Yeah, we burn through Vox. Or not Vox, excuse me. Yeah, okay, you know what I mean. Change of plans. We do have to decide quick. All right, we're gonna go for the Vex Caliber. All right, Vex Caliber. I forgot. We literally have Vex Caliber. We literally have a rotator that's just sitting. The Node Avalon. All right. All right, Pigs in. I need one more person. We got 23 minutes. 23 minutes should be enough time, right? All right, Jag, there's the 3. This is like the one mission I think that like, it's been a minute. 23 minutes, 45 seconds. How about an exotic drops too, guys? How cool would that be? We are really doing exotic Engram. What happens to be at 24 before you finish the mission? I have to have the exotic. It's how many exotics can I get in 24 hours? Not, yeah, how close can I get? If it's not in my possession, it's not mine. We are running out of time. He's got to die instantly. I mean instantly. Instantly, he's got to die. Good. 5 minutes, 20 seconds. Oh my gosh. This is going to be close. Come on, ammo, please.
Guardian down.
Not having ammo sucks. 3 minutes.
Guardian down.
Bro, come on. Dude, really? I hate Wyvern so much. Alright. Bruh. Are you kidding me? With a minute left. Did it go to my postmaster? Yeah, it did, but who cares? Oh my gosh. Wow. Dude, let me add it to the thing before we run out of time, so it's there.
We just barely were able to pick up the Vex Caliber with only 1 minute to spare. With that, we watched the final 1 minute tick off the clock until the clock struck 24 hours. 116 exotics collected in 24 hours on a new account. This is a challenge I'm very proud of, but one, as I mentioned earlier, makes me very sad. Exotics used to not be about what they could do or how strong they were. In fact, that was secondary. What made exotics exotics was the journey to obtain them, the mystery, the scarcity, and the rarity that made you chase them and that made you jump up and down and made you search on YouTube to watch reactions of people getting them. Exotics used to be about the journey. Now they're just tools that do things. We went from having to pray to get lucky and grinding as hard as we could to now being able to open our wallets and actually buy exotics. I never liked the season pass, but at least the season pass ranks used to have to be earned. But then you could pay for them in the final week as a catch-up mechanic. And then after that, they opened up the floodgates, letting you buy them on the first day of a season. Exotic armor used to be random drops that we had to grind for, to then being in lost sectors, to now just being discoverable in Raoul's table. Exotic weapons went from being rare treasures to hunt to being unlocked at the click of a button in a season pass. I understand I took advantage of the Right of the 9 boosts, but keep in mind Fireteam power exists, and I could have done the majority of what I just did at any point during this year. Do I want things to go back to the old days of Destiny 1? No. But I do hope after watching this video, you can agree that there has to be some type of middle ground. Ultimately, I just hope that one day, exotics go back to feeling like, well, exotics. Thanks for watching.